in the upper chat asking a few questions about it. But this is showing you that again. This is the scriptures tell you they received a mark and they. Hold on, matter of fact, let me just read the scripture first. Which I mean, everybody by now should know the scripture, but just read it just to put put it out there. Revelations 13 and 16 says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. See? So that when it says cause, meaning they make it mandatory. It's not mandated as of yet, but you better believe they're going to make it mandatory. And see, that's the thing that really when they do these things, people are going to be bugged. They're going to really be bugging because they know that we warn because they see that people try to deny the inevitable. It's inevitable what they're doing. That they're closing up shop. They creating this police state. They got all these robots and they just going to be killing people. This is what the government planned on doing it. They're not just planning it now. They're acting doing it. But people are not paying attention. But the scriptures tell you that it's called all small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, which as Apostle the Holy Spirit gave him to Adam go deep into that word, karax, which is the impalement, which they inject you with a needle, right? Or through surgery, make an incision and cut your head open, and it's in connect this chip, right? It says to receive a mark, which that's the MOTB, in their right hand or in their forehead. Now they call it different things because remember all these nations are going to have. It's not just like this thing in America or the United States. Like that's what people are stupid. Like shit that happened in the United States. People be like when Nero Trump came in office. I'm moving to this country. I'm moving to Africa. You better watch what part of Africa you move to, man. All right, because there's civil wars and uprising and all kind of nonsense going on throughout that whole continent, man. There's no escaping the destruction, first and foremost, man. All right, but a lot of people think all these nations are locked in to this whole beast system. All right? I mean, there's fighting. They are eventually going to turn against America, Babylon. But at the end of the day, America, that's why Nero Trump talks the shit that he talks. All right, going back to NATO. Who's the figurehead? What language they got to speak English. All right? But anyway, let's go to this Instagram from Mech Engineer World. Which I mean, they put a little spice to it, right? But it says China beats Elon Musk to launch world's first commercial brain chip. So now, really, and when I looked it up, they got the not that they came up with it first. They got the federal approval to use this for people because they carton this off as like a medicine, right? As medical. So it says China's National Medical Products Administration has officially granted commercial approval to NEO. So that's another word for the C hit. There's a lot of different companies, and you got different companies that make it. It's still the same thing. They just call it what they call it. It said a coin-sized brain-computer interface, BCI, right? Brain-computer interface developed by Tsinghua, right? University in Shanghai-based Neuracle Technology. So this is a chip that, so Moab is up there, got their technology, they got their scientists. You got Elon, Dusthead, Muskie. He been working on it with other scientists. You got scientists in Australia, all over the world. So if this wasn't true, if the prophecy's not speaking about this, what do you think they spending all these trillions, if not more, of dollars in all these different countries? Why is everybody right? Why are they so infatuated? Like the so-called rush to get to the moon, which ain't none of them went to the damn moon anyway. But why you think they doing that? It's prophecy for one. It's prophecy. Okay? It was prophecy. All right, but it said this milestone represents the world's first commercial authorization for an invasive brain implant designed to restore motor function outside of strict research. Right? And that's they lying wonders. Basically, they trying to play the most side. Oh, if you lost your eye vision, or if you lost, your nerves went dead on you, you can't move your arms, you're in a car accident, blah, 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 blah. here, we got something to help you. But in all reality, you know what this diabolical plot is. This devil ain't never really cared about helping nobody. All right? It's experimenting on them, man. And then feeling like they're trying to be the Most High, really. All right? It says, however, the approved device is explicitly, pardon me, intended for specific paralysis patients and is not a general purpose consumer brain chip. The screenshot notes while China has moved to commercialization, Neuralink remains limited to human clinical trials in the United States. Specifically, the Neuro approval applies to adults aged 18 to 60 suffering from paralysis in all four limbs due to cervical spinal cord injuries who still retain some residual arm functions. The primary driver behind NEO's rapid regulatory clearance is an engineering choice that prioritizes long-term safety. And that's bullshit, you know? That's what the whole thing is. They'll tell you everything is safe. Just like the jab, they told you that was safe. It says, while Neuralink's N1 chip, like I said, they got different chips, different names. N1 chip directly penetrates the cerebral cortex, right? And this is Dr. Frankenstein at his greatest, man. And this is in violation because you're not supposed to be cutting in. You know, these devils, they like, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Egyptians were known for doing that too. The actual, you know, Mizraim, because the real Egyptians, not the cracker so-called white Egyptians, the real Egyptians was Mizraim, Matazarian in the Hebrew, right? But I believe that goes back to them. But anyway, you know, it says Neo's 8 sensors rest safely on top of the dura mater, the brain's protective outer membrane. So they're using that to basically send signals and stuff to your brain, right? Because they know that they understand about the pineal gland and everything, like how the spirit dwells in your brain and how the Most High sends them. So that's what these devils are doing. And then mixed with the technology they got a thing called the voice of God weapon or something like that, where they could send it. So now if you have these sensors and stuff in the chip inside you, now when they send in these frequencies, they can, you know how people say, you know, I heard voices in my head, which a lot of times it is demons, but now they can literally control and put the demons. They can sit there and put you know, you got the chip in the hospital, they can send a signal from a satellite. Get up out the bed, jump out the window. Get up out the bed, take the scalpel and cut the doctor up. And they could do that. So they trying to. This is what these devils' plan is, man. All right, this is what they plan is, and that's why the Lord, you know, was speaking about it. Matter of fact, let me go back to Psalms. It said that encouraged themselves. Hold on, let me go back to Psalms. 64, right? Psalm 64 and 5. It said they encourage themselves in an evil matter. All right? Like they're into this. You know, little people know. They sit there think that, like, y'all wasted way too much time thinking that but we've been telling you the truth, man. From the apostles on down, the brothers in Great Millstone, we haven't lied to you yet, Jack. We haven't lied to you yet. All right? And they're going deep into this thing, man. They, you know, y'all thinking, oh, man, yeah, y'all talking, you know, y'all making fun. Putting a Lay's potato chip on your hand and all this other nonsense that y'all doing. And y'all don't even realize what's about to happen to you, man. And you're not going to be able to call on the Lord in that day. Remember that, man. Matthew 7 and 21, man. Right? That's real. You know, so when you read the scriptures, you're supposed to get humbled. But a lot of these guys ain't humble. You know, because, well, one, look at the leaders of these people, man. All right? As the leaders are, so is the people. You know, not quoting it verbatim, but, you know, the scriptures speak on that. So now it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. See, they communicate on the low. A lot of things, which now, of course, we know because why? What's that? Obadiah, how the hidden things that Esau searched out. Because the Spirit of the Lord is revealing everything in the last, in the last days. So the Spirit of the Lord is revealing this devil because why? The Lord is getting ready to pluck him out of power, man. You're ready to, cut them by the roots, man. Uproot these devils. You're going to, believe it or not, with all these things that are going right now, this kingdom is all wicked, and the so-called white man seems like he can't be stopped. He's getting away with bloody murder, stealing countries, nations publicly now. And they talking about, we'll go take your shit. And they will. You know, they sitting there threatening people with earthquake guns. And this is all real stuff, right? But believe it or not, the Lord is going to come and take these devils out, right in the height of their power. Right in the height of their power. The Lord's going to crush them and the other nations. Because the scriptures tell you in Revelations that the nations drunk of the wine. And they were made drunk. So they're a part, they have a, that's why you see, we're reading about China right here, right, with the chip. Matter of fact, this is let me go to the chat on this one, right? I asked a few questions, right? Hold up, let's see if I can, about the post to see if it was true and everything, right? So it said what actually happened. I'm just skimming through some of this. It says China's medical regulator approved the world's first commercially authorized invasive brain-computer interface, BCI, which is a called NEO, developed by Neuro Technology together with researchers from Tsinghua University. This is considered the first time an implanted brain-computer interface has received commercial approval outside of the clinical trials. Right? You got that from Reuters. But it says this means it is approved for medical use in China. Okay, so again, and if you remember, which I forgot which page, but Apostle Tar brought it back when you had that Hamite Bati boy in office, right? The first black gay president, right? Even though he ain't a nigga, he's not our people. But they had the Obamacare, that's what it's called. And I don't know if it was page 666, but I remember Apostle Tar brought it out back then, where they were telling you about the C-hip as a medical device, because they were saying, they were pushing, because again, the devil was coming with different ways to make you accept it, right? They always they can't tell you that is you're not supposed to take it, it's against the Bible and against the Heavenly Father. So they got to say, no, it's good for your medical records, but see, look what happens if somebody faints and passes out. And now we don't know what to give them. If we give them the wrong thing, we kill them. But if we could just scan a chip inside them to give us all their records or whatever. So that was inside going way back then. So they will pawn this off as a medical thing, right? You see, and a lot of people are going to take it, just like they did with the COV. A lot of people took it. They think, because people don't got no faith. People don't trust in the Lord. They trust in the devil, right? So anyway, it said it's not a consumer product. How does it compare to Neuralink, right? I'm just jumping around, bear with me. So here's a simple comparison. The NEO is commercially approved in China. Neuralink is still progressing through the clinical trials. But whenever they want, they're going to say, okay, it's ready. They're going to make it mandated. Okay, back to the NEO. Is designed mainly for paralysis rehabilitation. It's for more than that, but that's what they're going to say. Neuralink, it says, designed for paralysis now with broader future goals. What are the broader future goals? And you think the devil's going to really tell you what they are? Okay. Neuralink is a very small implanted threads inserted by a surgical robot. So they got robots to give you. And a lot of these shipping centers, I believe they are going to, like a lot of these abandoned warehouses that they'll convert to centers or whatever. They're going to have a bunch of robots working in there. They might bring it to an Amazon plant run by robots. Amazon robots might be chipping people up. I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, for the NEO, the NEO, it said it's minimally an invasive design, right? Like you've seen in the picture. Limited medical indication. Right? And then the Neuralink is broader long-term vision, including communication and vision restoration. So again, communication is very important. And that's why they're going to control the only way you're going to be able to communicate is through the chip, basically, because you're going to be locked in, meaning communicate as far as to open your door, to open your car, to do anything. It's going to be all through the chip, and all your information is going to be inside the data center. They're going to have everything stored. You see? So that's why, I mean, we'll see. That's why they make comments like 2030, there's not going to be no more cell phones, because why? They're going to turn you into the goddamn cell phone. You see? But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, either way, they see what they're doing. They're definitely moving. But it says, interestingly, even executives at one of China's own state-backed brain chip companies, see, they got all kinds of companies for brain chips, have publicly acknowledged that the Neuralink still appears to have a technical lead of roughly 3 years in some aspects, especially its robotic implementation system and the number of human implants already performed. When will it be available? As of today, June 2026. China has a regulatory approval and is beginning commercial rollout for qualified paralysis patients to hospitals. But it's going to be, once they're ready to implement it, right? Now, this is the other question. Which countries are investing heavily in brain chip technology? It says several countries are investing billions of dollars into brain-computer interfaces. Several countries, billions of dollars. Why would they do this if this thing doesn't exist? If there's not going to be no chip, why are they going to waste their time? All these, the investors and everything in different countries. So it's not just a United States thing. All right, but now in the United States, these are the United States companies that work on these MOTBs. All right, Neuralink, as everybody know, Synchron, which is another one. BlackRock Neurotech, which they into fucking everything behind the scene. DARPA, right, which they had DARPA, goes back to the movie Iron Man, where they exposed DARPA, lead us in mass. And the NIH, which I think is in New Hampshire, have funded BCI research brain chip implants, right? The U.S. currently has the largest private investment ecosystem. And why is it private? Because why? It's evil, it's wicked, it's demonic, all right? It's the fulfilling of Revelation, the 13th chapter, verse 16. So they've been keeping this shit on the down low. Meanwhile, creating everything around the whole system. So all they got to do is just switch you over, Just like when, doing an electrical, when you're getting rid of the old power supply and running a whole new electrical service, right? You got to prep everything. You got to, the new circuitry got to go to the new panel board, and then the new service goes to the house and get ready for connection. And then what happens is, once you're ready for connection, everything is approved. They got to go through testing, because if something's wrong, you got to fix it first. So once they switch over the power, they switch it over, cut it off, disconnect it from the old, and mount it and plug it to the new connection. That's a process, quick process. All right. So there's a process always going into changing systems. In other words, all right, changing over from digital to analog. Sometimes you don't even see it. It's like with frequencies like cell phones and stuff. Sometimes you don't realize that they're switching over from 5G to 6G. You just might notice your phone's acting up or things of that nature, right? There's other things, but some people might not even realize it. You see, well, that's what's happening with the chip. They're setting up everything around it. So when they switch over, people are not even realize it. So these are some of the companies, right? It says in China, they're investing. Strong government funded. Government. Multiple startups include Neuraco, NeuroXS, and Neo Cyber. Brain-computer interfaces are part of China's strategic technology plan. Then, Australia. Synchron was founded there before expanding to the U.S. It is testing a less invasive implant delivered through a blood vessel rather than open brain surgery. These devils, right? This is what the scriptures say. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. Right? They commune of laying snares privately and say, who shall see them? So this is all the work that they're working behind the scene. All right? Let's see. But now it's in the public. That's prophecy too. The scripture back in Psalms, Psalms 10th chapter, right? 10 and
Psalms
10 and 3
is it?
Let's see, 10 and 2.
Slack.
The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be. This is don't think that this ain't got nothing with oppression and persecuting people. Because again, they're gonna round up and destroy a lot of people. There is gonna be resistance against it, right? Just like they got the digital ID. You know, so these things all signs and things that are pointing to what these devils are doing. All right, and there's gonna be resistance, man, and that's why they got not even just these Gurkha mercenary type police force, but they got robots, assassin robots. Eventually, it's gonna go rogue. And it starts taking out everybody. Like in the movies. Like in the movies, right? So these are things that they're doing and they're planning and they're doing right here. So that's like dry runs. So when they come with actual hip implementation, say, look, man, you have to come over here, let us inject this into this chip or whatever. They might tell you, man, look, you better come to the Market of Beast Center. Report to the Market of Beast Center or you will be eliminated from society. Right? They rolling out some, you're going to feel like you're in the Hunger Games or some shit. You're like, this can't be real. This can't be like this. I feel like I'm in a fucking movie. I feel like I'm in the Purge. I feel like I'm, in all these different movies, 1984 and everything, right? So it said the wicked in his pride that persecute the poor, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. See, because why? These are the devices, meaning the evil inventions that they're coming up with to inflict pain and oppress the people with. Verse 3 says, for the wicked boasters of his heart's desire. See, this is in the mind. All right, that's why they called the average American person sheeple. Okay, that's why they created a thing called a social security number. Because why? They want to make you their property. You're not the Heavenly Father's property like you're supposed to be. They want make you their property. Because why? It's their time to do all the wickedness, man. Earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So these are the things that we see that are going on. Excuse me. All right. Switch with it. Okay, so now China, Australia, Europe, all right, countries including Germany. Germany is all these. That's why I said they were made drunk with wine. They drink. These other nations are all on it, man. At the end of the day, even though they got. That's why you see them sit there and be having these fake whatever war you call them. Then they write shit down. The people talking and visiting the countries and working on bullshit piece of treaties that don't. Because they're all overall tied in. All right? Everything, and it's a thing called controlled opposition. You know, they all being the international bankers are controlling both sides. Because the Lord set them in power. But we're at a point where they're losing control. And the Lord is, going to turn Russia, as we see. Russia is going to be one of the figures that the Lord is going to use according to the prophecy to nuke America. So these things, everything is playing out how the prophecy said. Remember, this is prophecy. I'm just going into this other information just to bring out other receipts. Just for the sake of confirming what the scripture is saying. So now it says Germany, Switzerland, France, the United Kingdom are investing through universities and medical device companies, especially for stroke and ALS patients. But it's for everybody, for the whole world. Japan is in it. South Korea. You see? South Korea. There's the whole world. So what can these devices do today? Current capabilities include moving a computer cursor, right? Typing by thought, controlling robotic hands, operating wheelchairs, controlling robotic arms. They're trying to gear towards that medical thing, right? Helping restore communication for ALS patients, restoring some hand movement after spinal cord injury. Okay. Research is also working towards restoring vision. See, they thinking that they're the whole side. Treating Parkinson's disease, memory restoration. And this devil's a fucking hypocrite. The reason why everybody's memory is all fucked up and dumbed down is because of what? All the things they've been giving to people. Food, basically the different what's the word I want to say? The different injections, okay? The different chemicals, the chemtrails, all the metals they put in the air, right? All the frequencies. It's the reason why people are stupid and dumbed down. And how all of us sometimes you like, damn, you can't remember what the fuck you just did a minute ago. Right? Well, that's because of this devil. This is done by design. We're here real time. Certain days, I be sitting here stuck trying to remember what the fuck I was about to do, or what I did yesterday. You gotta be glitching almost. It seems like you're glitching. Then in the spirit you get it. It comes back to you, but that's because of this devil feeding this death, man. All right, they feeding us plastic like this. And every day they coming out showing you that none of this food is real food, man. Okay, and there's all of this GMO lab meat and everything. It takes a toll and it destroys your body, man. All this plastic that they got in our body, so it block the natural flow of your receptors to your brain. And it dulls it, right? So that's why a lot of people make stupid decisions. And then on top of it, they medicate with all kind of either so-called illegal drugs, legal drugs. Everybody's on all kind of drugs, got all type of different shit going on with your body. So they created these situations, but now they're gonna make a magical chip to change it. That's something else. But anyway, I'm gonna end it there. I mean, there's more on it. Lord allowed spirit.
Side effects. Can you feel it? I can't feel it.
How long did that take you?
That took me about a week.
And then you went home and
I practiced at home.
And so what do you think the biggest benefit of this is?
The biggest benefit is that it's going to help people with spinal cord injuries, and people with Parkinson's disease, and people with epilepsy, and people with depression, anxiety, and all these different things. I can still move the mouse with my mind. Actually, pretty cool.
Bro, that looks like it hurts.
How long did it take you to get used to it?
It was a process, it took a few months to really get comfortable with it, but now it's just part of it.
Behind those eyes, there is pain. Just like you get out.
Y'all know I follow.
That's the marker of beast that boy got.
People are catching him traffic. You know what I'm saying? And he's changing his pupils of his eyes. Yeah, you're crazy. No soul behind those eyes. You think I'm gonna let this man touch me and say so? Read my mind, I'm gonna touch this?
What if we just implanted an invisible chip in my sh?
And do you have any side effects?
No, I don't have any side effects.
Can you feel it?
I can't feel it.
How long did that take you?
That took me about a week.
And then you went home and
I practiced at home.
And so what do you think the biggest benefit of this is?
The biggest benefit is that it's going to help people with spinal cord injuries, and people with Parkinson's disease, and people with epilepsy, and people with depression, anxiety, and all these different things. I can still move the mouse with my mind. Actually, pretty cool.
Bro, that looks like it hurts.
How long did it take you to get used to it?
It was a process, it took a few months to really get comfortable with it, but now it's just part of it.
Behind those eyes, there is pain. Just like you get out.
Y'all know I follow.
That's the marker of beast that boy got.
People are catching him traffic. You know what I'm saying? And he's changing his pupils of his eyes. Yeah, you're crazy. No soul behind those eyes. You think I'm gonna let this man touch me and say so? Read my mind, I'm gonna touch this?
What if we just implanted an invisible chip in my sh?
And do you have any side effects?
No, I don't have any side effects.
Can you feel it?
I can't feel it.
How long did that take you?
That took me about a week.
And then you went home and
I practiced at home.
And so what do you think the biggest benefit of this is?
The biggest benefit is that it's going to help people with spinal cord injuries, and people with Parkinson's disease.
Welcome to Reinvented with Accenture.
When Elias Goldberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Like to touch it?
Yeah. Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chips. So I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the chip.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined ships as part of a dystopian future.
Install ingrained receiver with local anesthetic and you're good to go.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards,
Which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
no cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
but even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot. I think there's so much more data can go into this, and it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it will be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality. Sarah Harmon, NBC News, Stockholm.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe.